Coming up on Thunder Insider, it's been a unique home stretch for the Thunder, 2 back-to-backs and an overtime thriller for the record books. We take a look back as OKC maintains its spot atop the Western Conference standings. Plus, the Thunder proves just how deep their roster really goes. Reserves Royale Ivy and Ryan Reed chime in. And with the week in OKC, the Thunder helped celebrate Black History Month in a number of ways. We'll show you what Scott Brooks' club was up to off the court. We've got all that, and Rumble had a big birthday party this week. Stay tuned, Thunder Insider gets started right now. Hello and welcome everyone to Thunder Insider, presented by Integris Health. I'm Kelly Krall alongside the Thunder broadcasters Brian Davis and Grant Long here in the Chesapeake Arena. And it's been a rare and unique week for the Thunder guys. 5 home games, and they've certainly put on a show for this home crowd.
First sets of back-to-back home games in the franchise's history. And Grant, the last couple that we had on Fox Sports Oklahoma, you could put under the heading of the year of living dangerously. Twice against New Orleans and then against Boston. You let leads of 26, 27 points dwindle into the single digits. But the great thing about it was that the Thunder was able to put on the brakes, stabilize, and then pull away for victories down the stretch.
Well, you mentioned the deficits, and you talk about that, but the execution level in the fourth quarter in those games I thought was above board, and the way that they got the shots that they wanted to. And I've said this time and time again, Kevin Durant, the NBA's 2-time leading scorer, if you can get him high percentage shots, that's a big indicator that you're executing your offense to a high level.
It took some fight, but certainly Scott Brooks' club giving the crowd plenty to cheer about this week, including a historic overtime win against Denver, one in which KD put up 51 points, Russell put up 40, and then Serge Ibaka has his first triple-double that's never been done in the NBA before. And if those weren't enough highlights, here's some of the rest.
There's a lot at stake anytime these two teams meet based on what went on between the two a season ago.
Ibaka's got it for the putback. Serge Ibaka has been a one-man wrecking crew.
Westbrook stutter steps, pulls up at the paint, fires a 15-foot jumper, ties the game at 104.
Lawson denied entry. Serge, there's the triple-double. He's got the triple-double. There's his 10th block.
Daquan fights for the loose ball. Westbrook has it. Lobbing in front, Durant open for 3, angle left. It's on the way to take it under money ball. 2-point game. Harden given the ball. Here we go. Durant has it. Angle left. Driving base on a step to the rim. Dunks! It's tied at 111. We've got overtime at Chesapeake Arena.
Westbrook for 3. Shooters roll! Thunder on the high side.
Knocked away, stolen by Durant. Kevin galloping back, 3-on-2. Down the lane, high-stepping, scoops and scores! Durant does it again! Half 100 from Kevin Durant.
Harden's making the 3. He's going to give it up to Russ at the elbow. Count it. This one is going in the books as a Thunder victory.
There were many moments of beauty in that comeback victory. One of the things, though, that you have to look at is the contributions that other players made. For instance, how many times did Nick Collison set a screen so that a player could get off a good shot from distance? And I want to focus for just a second, guys, on KD's game-tying basket at the end of regulation. Daquan Cook takes Lawson away, drifts toward the corner, spreads the defense out. And then you've got Serge Ibaka spreading as wide as Jabba the Hutt to set a screen that absolutely erases a Flalo. And it's Anderson who then is forced to chase Durant, can't catch up with him. So all KD has is clear lane to the rim. That was beautiful basketball, great design, great execution.
Well, execution is what you're talking about, but tip your hat to head coach Scott Brooks as well, because he designed that play to put Daquan Cook in the corner, knowing that the defense could not leave him. Kevin Durant's been a willing passer. He makes that pass to Daquan Cook. That's a shot, and an easy shot as well, but Durant elected to take the ball to the basket himself. And again, executing at that level, at that time, under that kind of pressure. Hats off to this entire ball club for being able to do that. Everybody giving 100% on that possession.
A number of small plays flying under the radar. Kevin Durant also mentioning Daquan Cook's tip back out to Russell Westbrook towards the last 30 seconds of the fourth quarter being a huge play that really no one was talking about.
I got to tell you something. To that point, if he doesn't tip that back to Westbrook, who then gives it up to KD for the 3, we're talking about a completely different scenario.
Not in overtime at all, definitely. But KD and Russell combined for 91 points. And the chemistry between these two is just incredible. You can see each one of them at different times passing up shots that they might have for a better shot coming from the other guy.
I think one of the moments of maturity that we've witnessed is the way that Russell and Kevin have learned to work with each other. They take what the game gives them, and they are more than happy and happier than ever, Grant, to defer to the other when the moment is the right moment.
Well, I think what's been impressive also is the fact that these guys will really make plays for one another. We already understand that they have the ability to close out ball games. They want the ball in their hands in crunch time. But what I've learned and what I've been seeing this season is that both guys will drive and make a play for one another. And when you can have two guys in the fourth quarter willing to take big shots, it makes it awfully difficult for your opponent to double team anybody because they're willing passers and they have the ability to make big shots.
And then we have to hit on Serge Ibaka's triple-double, the first of his career, 14 points, 15 rebounds, 11 blocks. James Harden tells me after the game, plain and simple, if Serge doesn't want you to score on him, you're not going to.
And that's a big part of what Serge is all about. Defensively, he has been very sound. He has made it his business to protect that lane area. He gets up, and his timing has been impeccable this season because he's not got himself into foul trouble. You won't see him commit a whole lot of fouls when he's coming over anybody's back to block a shot. He's mastered the timing of blocking shots, and I think that's what's been essential in Serge Ibaka with his success with blocking shots this season.
And coming off that win, Coach Brooks said it's always a question. You always kind of worry about how guys are going to respond the next night. Well, against New Orleans, they come back. They're focused. They're ready to go. It seems like right now the guys are improving each game in different areas.
Well, there are things to work on. For instance, Denver scores 72 points in the paint in that ball game last Sunday, and then New Orleans and Boston make runs when you've had the game well in hand. There are teaching moments in every one of these, lessons to be learned. The coaching staff is happy to teach those lessons, and it looks like slowly but surely in some cases, Grant, the players are getting the message. And for instance, on turnovers here late in the week, the ship is beginning maybe to turn around a little bit.
And one area the coaches have been happy with as of late is the way the team is defending the paint and protecting the rim. And it's not just the bigs, it's all five guys.
Well, it's all about communication on the defensive end. That's the big part of being a successful defensive team. You've got to know that the person behind you has your support. If you drive baseline, on the perimeter, you're funneling guys to your help. So if you're on the baseline with this ball club, they like to send their offensive players to the baseline where the help is. We know that if you send a player to the middle, it breaks down your defense. So you have to be in communication at all time on the defensive end.
It certainly seems as though the team is picking up momentum as they head into this All-Star break. Up next on Thunder Insider, scouting the Thunder is no easy task, especially when Scott Brooks is showing us just how versatile his roster can be. More on the Thunder's depth coming up. Hey Thunder fans, All-Star Weekend is right around the corner, and we'll have all your in-depth coverage starting Friday, February 24th on our website, thunder.nba.com. Joining us now, the radio voice of Thunder basketball, Matt Pinto. And one thing we have seen out of the Thunder this week is their ability to defend and play different styles of basketball. If you look at Denver, they were an up-and-down team, wanting to run. Then you go to New Orleans and Boston, certainly showed some slowing down of the tempo execution in the half court, but the Thunder managed to defend them all.
Well, it's been a season-long thing, Kelly. It really has. You look at the two wins at Memphis, for example, against a team that still wants to slug it out inside. Thunder have out-executed the Grizzlies twice on their home floor. And I look, Grant, at the two games against Boston. In Boston, much more defensive-oriented. The Thunder come up with big plays at both ends to win 97-88. In their building, the Thunder wanted to accelerate tempo, and they did to the tune of a 119-104 win. It's impressive how versatile this team is.
No question about it. I like the way that they can turn around and get their preparation done and then go out and execute the game plan on the floor during the game time. And you mentioned the Celtics, they like to grind it out in the half court. And I thought coming into that game that they needed to really push the tempo, and they got out early, and they really did that. They turned the ball over, they turned the Celtics over, got out to some transition baskets, and that ultimately got them the energy that they needed to pull away in that ball game.
It's nice to be able to impose your will as the Thunder did. The first team in some 30 games to score more than 100 against the Celtics, a season high 119. But Kelly, when you go on the road, you got to be able to be versatile, and if the other team is playing its style, beat them at their game.
And we've heard guys say it this year, but I think it's a testament to how each one is individually taking pride in their own defensive matchup. But just for a second, let's talk about the bigs and the job they're doing in the paint right now defensively. You got Serge and you got Kendrick Perkins just really playing well right now on the boards, the blocks, anything. You name it, these guys are doing it well.
Well, it isn't one anchor to the defense. It's two right now. It really is. Kendrick Perkins mans the middle, and he provides some freedom for Serge Ibaka to roam a little bit, Grant, and that presents a 1-2 punch I think that's unmatched in the NBA. The game that comes to mind for me is the New Orleans game. The Hornets knew there was not a sniff of offense inside. Both guys had 13 rebounds. They combined for 9 blocks. This team leads the league in blocks, and it's because of the pride these two guys take.
Well, I think to piggyback on that block shot deal, the fact that these guys are back there protecting the paint, protecting the basket, it allows Russell Westbrook and Durant and these guys to really get up and pressure on the perimeter. They have a presence in the passing lane. You can get out there and get some steals, knowing that behind you, you have a trust factor that these guys, Serge Ibaka, Perkins, Collison, Aldridge, these guys are going to step up and protect the basket, so it affords you the opportunity to maybe even gamble a little bit on the perimeter as well.
I'm glad you mentioned some of those guys. Certainly a physical and demanding week. A stance here at home. I don't care that it was at home. It was still demanding for this team. And at multiple times, Scott Brooks had to go to his bench. You brought up Cole Aldrich, just the job that he and Royale Ivey and even Ryan Reed at times came in and gave productive minutes.
And I think the other guy, Kelly, aside from the ones you mentioned, is still Daquan Cook. He's in a different role, and yet he's been willing to, I think, sacrifice some of his game, Grant, to defend and to be a presence in terms of a complete game from start to finish in the absence of Thabo Sefolosha. But absolutely, Royale Ivey has been impressive, as professional as he's been, to be ready to step in. And Cole Aldrich continues to show, I think, drastic improvement in the second season.
Well, I think you give kudos to the fact that the culture of this ball club is such that these guys really put in their work, and then when the opportunity presents itself, they are ready to go out and do what they can do to help this ball club win. You mentioned Royale Ivey, you mentioned these guys who are getting spot minutes, but they come in and they add something, they impact the ball game, and that's a big preparation thing that these guys are after practice. We've seen them a number of times after practice, getting up extra shots, just in case they actually get the floor in case of an injury or something like that happens, they're ready.
And they really feel valued. Scott Brooks was this kind of player, so
yes.
He recognizes what it takes to stay professional, and when you're called on, jump in and really contribute.
Royale Ivey, a guy who prides himself on energy, making that a contagious thing across the board for his teammates, a veteran guard who certainly this week stepped up and provided some big minutes.
Jackson to the opposite corner. 3-ball for Royale Ivey.
It's tough, but you just got to stay ready. You know, just working out, staying in shape, getting my shots up, getting my conditioning in, doing all the little things on the court. So when it does happen, you're ready and you're in position to succeed. You can sulk and you can be upset that you're not playing, and then when your name is called, you're not ready, and that happens to guys sometimes. So just staying mentally tough and just being ready, like I said, and hopefully it comes to fruition.
I thought his defense was on point every time down court, and that's what Royale gives us. He gives us that every day in practice, his spirit to compete, every possession, it's there.
Just bring energy. That's my pride and joy, just being a energetic player, bringing that defensive presence, the defensive prowess, just helping out the team any way I can 50-50 balls, just being relentless and just playing hard, and that adds energy to other guys. So if I go out there and do my job, other guys are going to add on to it. So, when he called my name, I was surprised, but it's the NBA. You got to stay ready and be professional. So I'm glad I got a shot, and just hopefully roll with that.
We have a good group of guys that are always waiting for their opportunity, and they work hard before games, they work hard before practice, during practice, so when we are called upon them, they're ready to play, and I give them all the credit.
Guys have to fill a void, and that's what a team's about. When guys go down, it's time for guys to step up. So other guys want to get shots, to play, and hopefully they fill a void. So we just go and do it collectively and stay as a unit.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
Yes, this is good. How you doing? It's nice to just see all the kids, coming in and choose from a variety of books, man. That's something that, as a kid, I wish I'd had the opportunity to do.
You're watching Thunder Insider.
Thunder forward Ryan Reed made his NBA debut this week, and just like the other reserves when Ryan's number was called, he was ready to go. The rookie from Florida State sat down with us and talked about his young career.
So describe for me, from what you see, what is a Thunder player?
A guy that's dedicated, love to work, like to listen to coaches, that's a very coachable guy, have respect, and just come in and just work real hard, get along with your teammates, and just have fun.
How do you prepare for a game?
First have breakfast, shoot around, come back, take a shower, just basically go take a couple hours nap, get up, eat something again, and then come to the gym and just get ready for the game.
Is the routine the same?
Yes, it is. Every game, like on my way to the arena, I talk to my mom while I'm driving or whatever. She'd pray for me, and after that, you know, phone's off once I get to the arena, and I won't talk to them till after the game's over.
That's smart. You can focus.
Yeah.
When did you sort of realize that this NBA dream could become a reality?
Towards my senior year, like going to college, you know, I always had it on my mind, but I was never really in that category of other guys that's scoring 20 points and 15 rebounds a night. But, you know, I also got a chance, you know, by keep working hard, and everything paid off.
Recently, Kevin Durant and Lazar Hayward made a special stop on the Rolling Thunder book bus at Santa Fe South Elementary. Katie and Lazar a big hit with these students.
Okay, can you open it right down there?
Well, it's a cool little place, man. It's nice to just see all the kids, you know, can come in and choose from a variety of books.
Is it that one?
Yeah, this was it. I think you should try that one out.
I read that one.
You read it?
It's cool.
Oh, well, we got to get another one then. It's something that, as a kid, I wish I'd had the opportunity to do, especially with NBA players. So it's a blessing that I got this opportunity. Yes, this is real. How you doing? How you doing?
Good.
The best.
The encouragement that a role model like these athletes provides for kids for literacy is powerful, and it affirms what our teachers and kids have been working on, so we're very grateful that these guys came out.
Well, you know, just like Kevin said a little bit earlier, it really just, you know, makes me happy. You know, these kids come here and they see us, and they just know that we play basketball, and they smile, they want to give us hugs, and some of the little girls want to kiss us on the cheek. Like, they'll think about this stuff for days, maybe even months.
One of the benefits of being home for a while is the opportunity to get out in the community. And with February being Black History Month, a number of the players joined in on some of the special events happening this week.
You know, every living thing ought to be called by its name. I'm Clara Mae Shepherd Looper.
When I met her, I was new to Oklahoma City, and I didn't know about her history. And working in this production, I've learned so much about her and the work. It's just awe-inspiring.
Being able to bring this story to life for people and to also spread or pass the history on to my own child is very important.
We're gonna sit in with Clara. We're gonna sit in with Clara Looper.
You know, me being a part of this, you know, community, you know, and as a player, you want to know and learn about the city, you know, that you're living in, that you're part of, and coming out here tonight, you know, learning about Miss Looper, I mean, it's really inspirational, you know, to know what she did and what it took for her to get it done, you know, and for us to know that, you know, it's just another part of history in Oklahoma that I now know.
Each February, in honor of Black History Month, Oklahoma students from kindergarten through high school take part in the Thunder Black History Heroes Challenge presented by Sprite.
What made me want to do this contest is that it was just fun, and I like Black history, and I just wanted to join in and do it.
He learned his speech all by himself in like 2 days. In fact, he thought he was going to actually have to say the speech, and he was okay with that too. He wasn't even nervous.
We try to always encourage Max with the artwork that he does, and he does a lot. He draws and paints, and so when we heard about the contest, we encouraged him to get involved.
I just thought Barack Obama and Martin Luther King Jr., they're important people, important African Americans in history.
Ahead on Thunder Insider.
Rumble the Bison celebrates another birthday. You know what that means? Another round of Mascot Mania. We'll have that story coming up next on Thunder Insider.
Welcome back, Thunder fans. Don't forget to take part in our Watch and Win contest this season. Not only do you have a chance to win tickets to an upcoming home game, but you are also automatically entered to win a trip to see the Thunder take on the Lakers in LA. Just visit thunder.nba.com and enter the code 6001 or text the code to 68278 for your chance to win.
Well, not only was it a big homestand for the Thunder, but Rumble celebrated his birthday this week with Mascot Mania. Mike Steely from the Sports Animal helped us research the age-old question, how old is Rumble?
It's a Sunday night at Chesapeake Energy Arena. The fans are arriving early because it's Rumble the Bison's birthday, folks. You know what that means? Another installment of Mascot Mania. All right, I've got Patrick and Carson here. They're big Thunder fans. What would you give Rumble the Bison for his birthday?
I'll get him a new trampoline.
The kids really love Rumble because he comes to their school and he makes them laugh. They like that he gets out on the court and makes baskets and everything. Really makes them laugh and have a good time.
I have a theory about mascots. They all seem to fall into different ages. Like some act like they're 18-year-old boys, some act like they're preteens, some act like they're 4. So tonight I want to try to determine what Rumble's age is.
The great thing about the mascots is when they're out making their rounds, they have this incredible spread back here in their locker room, which is great. And you can just come take advantage of it, pocket some stuff. They've got great fruit, everything. I mean, it is amazing. Hey, fellas, what? Hey, you guys are supposed to be out with the kids, aren't you? Ah! Help! Kelly, help!
Thanks for joining us here at the Chesapeake Arena for another edition of Thunder Insider. We'll see you again next week with all the coverage on AllStar Weekend from Orlando.